Go ahead, Jose.
I met my wife in 1973. I was working for a promoter that was doing all the Latino dances throughout Los Angeles area. I was at the Hollywood Palladium.
Oh my
I happened to
gosh.
be the MC that night. And, you know, I started walking through through the area there. And I saw my wife, I saw her walking with her mother, sister, and we were about 10, 15 feet away, and I asked her if she wanted to dance, and she went,
Yeah.
you have to come and ask my mom. So that's how we met.
All right.
Way to go, Jose. Thomas, you're up.
Oh.
I'm glad Rudy isn't here because she'd tell me to shut up.
I know the feeling, Ken.
Okay, how did we meet? This goes back a while, but at any rate, I was in grad school back on the East Coast and living at the graduate college. And I also happened to be the social chairman of the graduate college.
That's shocking, Ken. I can't understand that.
I raised a mixer with one of the girls' colleges. So the bus shows up with about 40, 50 girls. All right. And I and everybody else will look them over. And there's this redhead captures my eye. So I started, I introduced myself, we went in, we started dancing and socializing and all that kind of stuff. And then it was brought to my attention that there was a problem with some of the gear in the bus that the girls had brought, and they needed to store it someplace for the evening. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do for the time being with the redhead, and went and met a couple of the girls and take them home with their gear, and I put it into my suite of rooms. And Rudy was one of the girls. She's not a redhead.
So we're supposed to forget about the redhead now. Okay. We won't mention her anymore.
So we got back to the suite of rooms, and we got the gear all settled. There was, 3 girls and myself. And they're looking around the street and all that kind of stuff. And they wanted to know, how this was set up. And I said, well, my roommate's desk is over there, my desk is over here. And Rudy goes over and she looks at these 3 snapshots of young, almost babies, young kids. And she says, oh, so you're married, they're yours. Well, they happen to be my best friend's kids. I'm like 5 years older than she is. I'm in grad school now, I've been in the Army and all that good stuff. And so she's giving me this quizzical look like, yeah, sure, yeah, they're somebody else's kids. At any rate, we went back to the party, had a terrific rest of the evening. And she really captured my attention, and I wondered, how, I've made such a rotten impression so far with the redhead. I mean, she saw me with the redhead, and then with the kids' pictures. And so I asked around and joked around and found out that, exactly how to get to her college. So the next morning,
Ken, this isn't the program, okay?
they took off in the bus the next morning. Talked to this buddy of mine who's this crazy-ass Canadian psych major in graduate school. Hey, you want to go up and visit this place? And he couldn't care less. Oh, yeah, let's go take a drive. Well, 150 miles later, we're way the hell up and gone and visiting, and walked into her dormitory. And she was, absolutely, her jaw was down the hair. She couldn't believe that I would show. At any rate, the end of the story is, here we are 52 years later, happily married, and all that good stuff, and that's how we met.
There you go. Okay, Dan, you got 5 seconds. Go ahead.
Thomas.
All right, really quick. I was
RA on campus, a resident assistant, so I was in charge of the dorm that I lived in. And so the beginning of the year, we all have to have resident hall meetings. And so Brittany was one of the residents that was there at the meeting. I mean, the first time we met, we didn't hit it off. I thought she was an extremely annoying freshman. I was a cool jock senior. So like, it really didn't clash or mesh that well. But then 3 years later, we joined the debate team together, and like that's where I worked my magic.
Dan, you're up.
I told my story. Just, well, you guys know how we met, but just a quick side story.
Tell everybody, not everybody was here.
Yeah.
Was, she was on a blind date, it didn't work out, she wanted to leave early, and I was there, and we just started talking. We dated for about a year, and I actually proposed to her on New Year's Eve. And, her family's from San Diego, so I drove down there and wanted to get permission from her mom and dad. So I took him out to dinner and I asked mom and dad, you know, for his blessing, and the mom just loves me. And the dad just paused for a second. Is that a yes? So he finally said yes, and I asked her. I said, you know, is she a private person? Where should I propose that? And her mom said, yeah, Jennifer's a private person, and she gave me a great idea. So I proposed New Year's Eve at my home, but her mom gave me an advice to tape it, right? Oh. And she didn't know I was going to do this, and so I got on my knees and I proposed, and she was breaking down in tears, and so she said yes, and then the cool thing was after that, I showed her the video, so it was something that we captured the memory, and we're looking to have kids, and hopefully in a couple of years, and it'll be something that we capture, and I can show this to my kids.
There you go.
All right.
Very good.
I was a young 22-year-old, and has anyone heard of the Red Onion?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, that's where I met my man. I asked him to dance, and I'd never been in a club before. I never asked anyone to dance. My girlfriend had just broken up with her boyfriend, so I wanted to take her out on a night on the town to kind of, you know, make her forget about everything. And so we were just sitting there like lumps on a log, you know, and all these guys are standing around, you know. So I said, come on, we're going to dance. We're going to ask someone to dance. So I said, but I get him. So I asked him to dance. We were together for 8 years, and then kind of like, who proposed? Joe. Kind of like your wife. After 8 years, I said, hey, you know, I want to be your wife. Why don't we just do this and get this over with? So this year we'll be married 22 years, and we've been together for 30.
Wow.
As you leave, I want everybody to grab a rose, whatever color you want. Not the whole vase like Horace just tried to do. They thought I was watching them. I think a lot of Miriam. But I want to close with this beautiful romantic quote. And this actually, my 18-year-old daughter came up with this for me. So. Go in here. Oh, no, we don't want to quote that one. I get all these crazy messages from my kids throughout the day. Okay, love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. Aristotle.
There you go.
Okay, meeting adjourned.